All right. All right. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Bison, aka Bison Trades, over on Twitter. And welcome back to another episode of RareFUD Radio. On today's episode, we have a very special guest, a friend of the show, Crypto Wasta, coming on to talk about Wasta Corp, his upcoming project. We love Wasta. Wasta's been a long time homie. I've known Wasta for a while now. Between Joe and myself, dude, I've been in a lot of group messages with Wasta, but good friend of the show. Can't wait to talk to him about the upcoming project. It's mint season. I don't know if you guys have seen, but we just had 3 mints, about 27,000 supply between all 3, and they're all up like 3x from their mint price. So, look, if the market can support that, we in for a treat. So, projects like Wasta's, projects like Bastards, Oogie, Wolf Capital, we got Bodago's coming. I mean, we just have a lot of good projects coming from a lot of top people. I'm excited to have it. But before then, let's go ahead and get into the market update. Guys, if you haven't noticed, Door is gone. Door has a good reason. I'm pretty sure we lost Joe on like the golf course or something. I don't know. You never know where Joe is. He'll probably show up late. We'll find out. Nonetheless, let's get into a market update. Go check out TXO. If you guys want to follow along, it is TXO/stats. There we go. And if we check it out, we are at 186,000 Solana volume. You love to see it. What's up, Royce? How you doing, bro? Love to see it. Oh my goodness. We're still cruising along. Magic Eden still holds the lion's share, guys. Please, if you listen to this radio, if you listen to this podcast, if you do anything, please go try out Tensor, mainly Tensor, Soul Sniper for buying. You can buy them pretty seamlessly off of Magic Eden. Please stop going to Magic Eden. Please. They're sitting at about 107,000 Solana volume, representing about 57.5% of the market share. Tensor sitting at 41,000 Solana volume, 22% of the market share. Hades Swap actually making a little bit of a comeback. They're at 21,000 Solana volume, about 11% of the market share. We got, guys, this is the first time in forever we've had 3 actual marketplaces, well, 2 marketplaces, then Hades Swap, which is mainly focused on the AMM side, but Tensor's, the better market. I think Tensor is much better than Magic Eden. 1, the fees are less. 2, I just like the structure of it. I don't like how they have their collection bids set as maker taker fees, whereas Magic Eden, I've learned, is still on buyer pays royalties. So, all these collections coming out with enforced royalties, you're not getting double charged on that front, right? So if you do want to sell into a collection bid, make sure that you know that you have to pay royalties on Tensor selling into a collection bid, and then on Magic Eden, the buyer still pays royalties. So you're going to see a lot more liquidity on Tensor, I believe, because look, if you're placing liquidity up, I mean, you get to avoid the royalty fee. So nonetheless, I only trade on Solana art for the culture. That's a real one right there. Alpha art. Goodness gracious. I don't know where my co-hosts are. I feel bad, guys. I feel bad. Looking at this real quick before we bring up Wasta, guys, 3 mints, Wolf Capital, Oogie, and Bastards all went over 3x from where their mint was. Now, if you guys weren't around for the Wolf Capital mint, they use something called Block 9. Block 9 has a bidding website. A whole lot of confusion. This was their first and biggest generative mint. They've done some addition stuff over on the one-on-one sides, but Dolly's great. I think the platform is very interesting, but it was just, this is a big collection. Like, I think Wolf Capital is fantastic. And I probably would have tried it with something else first before going into Wolf Capital. They basically settled at about half of what they should have got, in my opinion. I thought 4 Sol was very reasonable for Wolf Capital. Ended up minting at 2 Sol a piece just through the bidding system. There's a lot of confusion there, and that thing took off. It went up to 8 Sol. Bastards has actually retraced after reveal. A lot of people were kind of conflicted on the art. I still think, look, you buy the FUD, right? You always buy the FUD. So not financial advice, just a bozo trading JPEGs on the internet. I buy FUD right there. So we got the FUD. Then we got Oogie. Guys, I completely missed it. I completely missed it. J Shep spent so much time explaining it. Dude, you got to have a seamless mint. Like, he can explain it as much as he wants. I barely understood it. I did. And I've looked at all the infographics and everything like that. I just think that is something that you ease into with additions. And honestly, if you want my 2 cents, that 4th punk, I would have seen if he could have done it on Block 9, so he would have had some more assistance from the community being able to explain it. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. Again, I just know how hard J Shep worked on it. I just hate to see him, kind of get cucked on the 2 Sol mint. So I don't know if he could have set lower bounds or anything like that. But guys, I completely whiffed on Oogie. Completely whiffed. Oh my gosh, this thing's 26 Sol. Like, first off, congrats, Oogie team. Like, look, I like Justin, the limited interactions I've had with him. But my goodness, I did not expect this. Now, I do think, just be aware of this. If I'm looking in Soul Sniper's analytics over here for Oogie, I want to say about 25% is still remaining in pre-sale distribution through vestings. But yeah, I would just say, like, just be aware of that. Don't just feed into euphoria. The only thing I'll say too is, like, this feels like the same hysteria we saw from Bonks, right? Bonks, if you guys remember, was Soul God's project, and everybody was going crazy for it, and then it revealed, and then, I mean, it's at 1.7 now. So, well, I'm not saying Oogie's going to go that way. In fact, they have a war chest now. They did like a $1.1 million raise. So I would assume that they have stuff planned out for the future. And look, they got cool collabs. They did the one-on-one, pre-mint stuff with Scum, with who else did they do it with? Scuba. They did it with Soul Cat. I mean, they did it with like a lot of notable people, and I think the minimum they went for was 200 Sol. So, um, yeah, believe me, I don't know where Joe is. Door has a good reason. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and bring up our guest. My man has been waiting for a little bit. We're going to bring on Crypto Wasta to talk about Wasta Corp. I'm excited. Look, if we just supported 3 mints in a 24-hour period, I want to talk to all the projects minting. I want to talk to all the projects minting, especially Wasta. Wasta's been around for ages. Wasta's been a free resource to a ton of people, has helped a lot of people on the trading front, has helped a lot of people grasp the concept of NFTs. So it's been a huge asset for the ecosystem. Give it up for my man, Crypto Wasta. Wasta, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm wondering where Joe is, but other than that, I'm glad I have you on because otherwise it would be an hour of me talking to myself.
Yeah, man. Joe's comes in late sometimes. Like
All the
I
time.
tune in weekly, you know.
All the time. If he's not rugging, he's coming in late. It's okay. Hopefully he gets on soon. Nonetheless, we can talk. Wasta, you've been around for a while. We've had interactions for over a year, it feels like. How long have you been in Solana NFTs for the audience?
I've been in Solana NFTs since like I'd say December 2021, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think like Catalina whales were like one of my like first mints.
Oh, dude, the whales go hard. I cannot like. Okay, so we got in about the same time because I minted fancy Frenchies, but like my first big mint that I actually went ham on was the neighborhood. It was called the neighborhood. It was just a little metaverse play, and I thought they were so cool. And meanwhile, while that was going on, I completely missed the Catalina whales mint because I was so new to the space, and I was like, "What are these whales? These like I don't think they look that good." Turns out I minted poverty and you minted generational wealth. So congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you've been around since Catalina Whales.
Yes, sir.
You've been involved in the space. I mean, like I haven't seen you take a break at all. So you've been involved since then. Walk me through a little bit on your crypto journey and your NFT journey.
Sure. So I started like cryptos, I'd say around 2020. Um, I think when like COVID started, some around then. Um, and I usually used to do like spot trading, and then a friend introduced me to NFTs. Like I knew him, he used to trade cryptos as well, and then I just once I entered the space, I just fell in love with it, and I was like, okay, this is where it's at basically. So yeah, started out doing NFTs, went through the whole experience of like getting scammed and everything, but um followed the right people, I guess, on Twitter to give me that good start, and then I just started picking things up and used like my knowledge with like um TA on spot trading towards NFTs later on when they released like the whole charting and stuff.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So how long have you been in crypto? Because you've been in the NFT space for a while and you're really good at technical analysis. Like and what I like about yours and like mommy's and those people's style is it resembles mine, but you kind of take it to your own, like you see your own price levels and everything that you want to see interaction with. How long have you been doing TA in crypto?
I'd say like around a year and a half, a year
Okay.
and a half, yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So what brought you into this journey? What was like the catalyst that you're like, "Oh, aha, this is what we're going to be doing."
Um, I just like felt like when I entered the space, I felt like okay, this is something I really like, and then once I start to get something, I just stick to it. So I
Right.
was like, okay, let me just stick to this and try it out, and it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so been around for like since December 2021. Um
So
been kind of doing crypto in the same amount of time. What what brought you to Wasta Corp? When did you decide that you're like, yes, you know what, I'm gonna make my own NFT project, especially like we just had a Black Swan event in FTX, right? Where like everything looked like doom and gloom. Solana went back to $8. What made you decide like now, now I want to announce to the world that I want to do Wasta Corp?
So it's like before Wasta Corp, we had like I had a free DAO running for like probably 6 months, and um when I initially like just like started like getting good at trading, I opened up a like a free DAO to like the public, and we were like doing really well. We were trading. I grew a community of traders. And I was like, okay, so now I'm like starting to get this Web3 world, but I have also like like experience in the Web2 world. So what if I combine them together and like provide more than just like calls and alpha? I want to do something else in the space. I want to like build like a household name in the ecosystem while it's still early,
Yeah.
and build a name and basically project on the ecosystem.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I mean, yeah, it is still early. And I think, since we went through our first bull run, everybody thinks you look like a genius when you mint in a bull run and stuff. But I think the real market share is always taken in the bear market, right? I say this in real estate, I say it in really anything. If you look back at time, the dot-com bubble and stuff, the ones that emerged victorious from a bear market, those are the ones that stayed around for a while. And I think this is when we're going to get our new wave of brand plays, our new wave of, NFT facing technology and everything in between. I've been saying this about Clanosaurus for a while. Like, been saying this about a lot of these new mints coming out. Like, I love Bastards, love Wool Capital, love what J Shep's doing, and you're no different. You've been an active voice in this space. So, talk me through a little bit about what your plans are for Wasta Corp. Do you have a mint date yet? I guess we should lead with that.
Okay. So as of right now, we're just like organizing the launch. So we do not have like a specific date, but I'd say it's pretty close, within a week or two.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
A week or two. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So, um, when did you guys start working on this idea? Like, how long has it been from? So it sounds like it's really soon. When did you guys start working on the concept of Wasta Corp?
I'd say around 5 to 6 months is initially where we started
Okay.
working on like sketches of the art. Um, at first, the art was just like horrible, and then I was just one day just listening to some music on YouTube while working, and then I just came across like some pop art, like vintage pop art music video, and then I was like, wait, we don't have that on Solana yet. We don't have something like of that standard of pop art, like vintage retro, on the ecosystem yet. Why don't we try that? And I think we've like done a decent job, but I may be biased, so the market will get to decide on that.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So you have the art. The art looks good. I mean, so I guess my first question, I'm gonna put you on the spot here with a little bit of a tough question. We have Mad Lads coming up. Are you worried at all with Mad Lads art style or anything like that? Do you think there's enough of a difference between the two collections that you guys will find your own places and it could be more of a co-opetition?
Uh, I don't see us like having any issues. I think what like makes people think that our art is simple is because we both portray like a human character, and with a human, basically you have certain traits. That's just like the classic basically trait, like a suit and like the
Right.
cap and everything. It All humans wear that, so like I don't feel like we'll like face any issues with them. It's two different art styles. There is more like of a graphic pop art, and ours like more detailed and like vectorized sort of art. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, with the heist. When I found out we were doing more chimps and, gorillas, I was like, not another monkey project. But I do think, between like you can still have the same concept of art. It's not like monkeys, chimps, apes, or is anything new to the space, but you can put your own perspective on it and it be a completely different collection. So I'm curious to see it. Like I've said for a while that good human art is hard to come by, but just judging off the pictures I see from you, from Crypto Boy, and some other people in the community, they look good. They look really good. So, walk me through a little bit about the traits. How many traits do we have? How many um, traits within those categories do we have? Like for instance, with the heist, we decided to stay with about 4 traits. May add some in the future, wink, wink. But like how many different traits do you have? Is it kind of like the expansion of Lily, where Lily has like a bajillion different traits, or is it more like subtle? You try to keep it clean.
We're trying to keep it like to go with that like minimalistic look, where we like don't oversaturate it with traits that like don't make sense. Because I've seen like a lot of human art on like projects that just like have like some like weird stuff that like not wearable, I'd say. And like I wouldn't wear it, this guy wouldn't wear it, like we have like a knife in the head. And I'm just trying to go with something that can connect with the user wrapping the PFP, because once you get that like connection between the user and the PFP, where like he feels, oh okay, this actually portrays me, that's where you win.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's kind of similar to the call I had with Corrupt from Jacan a few interviews back, where he was like, "Look, like we have the concept of the idea that we don't think everything should have to be like completely over the top imaginative or anything. It's just something that you and I represent." So I love the streetwear idea. I love the fact that this is stuff that I would see in everyday life. Lily, the fun thing about Lily for a lot of people was they found a certain PFP that they felt like they resonated with, and I think with the upcoming Boots protocol that they're going to do, where you can kind of change the hair of certain ones, a lot of people will find a lot of pleasure in that. I think it is important that you do connect with your PFP in some way, shape, or form, not just from social value, but identifiable with your own brand. So I'm excited for it. What's the supply going to be for this?
So the supply is 5,555.
Okay. Good,
Yeah.
good. So like a mid supply, I think right now that's like a really good thing to have, especially, we're getting bombarded with 10Ks. I know with Heist we're at 10K. Like that's a lot of supply on the market. So I think of 5,555, did you say? Did you say
Yes.
perfect. I think that's great because look, we need a good mid cap. You know what I mean? Or mid supply, not a mid cap. Um, like we keep getting all these massive supplies, and honestly those mid caps, I think right now, especially with everything heating up, the lower the supply the better, right? Especially with
100%.
this. So I'm excited to see this. I got a question for you too. Do you guys plan on having any females in the collection, or is it just going to be males?
Not as of right now, but like could always be a possibility.
Right, right, absolutely. I agree. Walk me through a little bit on your Wasta Corp application. I know I applied for it, and thank you so much for accepting my application. I appreciate it. Um, but
Of
but
course,
yeah,
man.
how many applications did you get? Was the process like seamless? Do you think it's something that you plan on scaling out in the future?
I really like that question. So we built the application platform from scratch with like our in-house dev team. um the same team with like Wasta Tech, which we'll get later on into. But yeah, I'm not saying it was the best application out there. um we're still like trying out the model and everything, but we plan on scaling it further later on down the line for sure. And we want to make it not just accessible for like web NFT projects, but more on like the Web3 space in a whole. um we got around like 6 to 7K applicants within like the first week and a half. So that was really good. Yeah, pretty much that covers the whole application.
No, I mean, that's exciting, especially in your first week, when you launched it too, because NFTs were still kind of quiet. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a
Yeah.
whole lot of mints popping up. People were kind of bearish on mints. So the fact that you got as many applications as you did your first week, one, I think just proves a testament to you and your character in the space. The fact that you have always been providing value in some way, shape, or form, not being super gimmicky, not trying to extract value from the ecosystem. I think it goes to show that people believe in you and then the brand that you're trying to build. So super excited for that, man. Let's talk a little bit because I know, like you said, you don't want everybody to just know you for your TA and fundamental analysis or anything like that in the NFT space. What are your plans with Wasta Corp once you guys mint? Do you guys have any plans for branding in the grand scheme of things, or what are you planning on doing?
So essentially why I called it Wasta Corp is because we want to treat it like an actual corporation where it has like different departments within it and it has like an HQ. So we're trying to go within that theme, but
Okay.
we're trying to also like go for like branding as well and like create a curated like clothing line that goes hand on hand with the traits on the NFTs. So with our brand, what we want to do is introduce a different level of Phygital, which is basically we plan on having like curated merch drops like periodically, where you can
Nice.
like claim a digital traits through points,
Cool.
and it goes into your wardrobe, which you can switch later on down the line with your NFT. And while checking out, you'd have the option to choose if you would like it physically as well, and you can order a physical copy of your digital trait, basically.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Sorry, I just saw a message. I found out why Joe's not here. Your boy got pulled over, so I guess
Ah.
he was heading back home and got pulled over. Which this man cannot get the break. This is he's got the most wild lifestyle I think I've ever seen. So, sorry, I'm getting a crack out of that. Okay. So I love that idea. Going back to that corporation idea, kind of like focusing on a department and doing department releases, that actually sounds cool to me. So I guess what would be your first department that you plan on releasing within the corporation, and where do you plan on going from there? You don't have to divulge everything too. I know how this space feeds on weaponized anticipation, but kind of walk me through, maybe some of the ideas that you have in your mind.
So we've already started Wasta Tech technically. We've already secured our first client and delivered our product like a day ago. It was an
Awesome.
application platform created for CryptoKid. I think we did a better job than our application platforms as well because we learned like from the feedback and like mistakes we did, uh, and delivered a good product. We got some good feedback, so that was great. Um, my initial focus as a first is getting like Wasta Tech, um, like scaling the team a bit and bringing in uh like people to fill in our weaknesses. So we've got like strengths within backend and like developing everything, but the thing is we feel like we need a better UX UI. So I plan on doing that like straight up after Mint. Because uh I think UX UI is like very like important.
Oh yeah.
um the way like another marketplace took over another marketplace just because of the UX UI when I first entered the space was like enough for me to realize that that's important.
Absolutely, especially in Solana too, where a lot of the people that came over to Solana wasn't just it was the blazing fast speeds and everything like that, but it was the fact that we had a Phantom. We had Magic Eden, which was by far the nicest looking NFT marketplace way back in the day, and even then we've evolved from that. So I cannot agree more, especially in the Solana ecosystem itself. UI UX is very important. So I love that you identified that and are tackling it right out the gate to make sure that moving forward. I think once you get UI UX down, it just makes everything so much easier. It draws a lot more traffic and retains it a lot more as well. So that's good. I'm glad you're working on UI UX. As far as the rest of Wasta Tech goes, do you have any other plans before you start working on another department? Or are you going to launch a department and kind of work on those two simultaneously before thinking about your next one?
So first of like we want to get something out the ground and make sure it can stand on its own 2 feet, because the worst thing you can do is just like grow too fast or scale too fast and not being able to handle both things at once. So first things Wasta Tech we've already started, and then we'll go into Wasta Studios maybe in like after we get Wasta Tech running. So we plan on having basically also the HQ, which is basically like a hub that gives you access to the entire corporation's ecosystem, and the HQ is powered through points.
Okay. Okay. So HQ is where you get your points at. Is that correct? And then that's where you access everything.
Yep, you can access basically exclusive merch drops, collabs, Phygitals. art drops, and more on Wasta Studios and Wasta Tech, because a lot of our holders or potential holders think that they do not receive any value from Wasta Studios or Wasta Tech, but they do. Any project we work with, we get like, let's say, a certain amount of whitelists and provide it through our point system on a first come first serve basis. So we have a lot of clone plans that like basically all our utilities go hand on hand on each other, and hoping to provide the best value for our holders.
Gotcha. That makes I dude, I love it. I mean, I love the fact that you guys are thinking about how you want to expand, focusing on where you want to expand, and then just kind of providing value back to holders from there. As far as um, like pre-sale mint price, do we have anything in mind? Are you doing any pre-sale? Is there going to be a mint price that you've announced, or are you waiting till we get closer to mint day?
We've announced our mint price and supply like a few weeks back.
Oh, okay.
Um, we did like a pre-sale, but it was like a very small allocation. We did it to our accepted holders, so the people that like believe in us want to buy it earlier than others. So we gave them the chance, and we gave a few selected DAOs like a very small amount.
Right. I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. As far as so you how many do you have your whitelist allocation filled out from your applications already, or is there potential to get more or more potential to get the whitelist roll over the next week or two before we get into mint?
No, there will definitely be opportunities, but as of right now, we've closed the applications. So the remaining whitelist we have will be given through Twitter or Discord.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Increase that social sentiment as well. That sounds good. I see Crypto Boy in the audience. I've been seeing Crypto Boy a lot more on Twitter and in Discord lately. How big is your team over at Wasta Corp? How many people are you working with?
So we have three devs, and we have me, the founder, and Crypto Boy as a project manager, and we have the artist. So that's our team. But
Gotcha.
we plan on scaling it down the line.
Yeah, well, look, I wholeheartedly believe that there are some people that try to scale too fast and get it way too bloated too quickly. Trying to over leverage too fast before you find establishment is like the bane of any new company or new corporation's existence. So I love the fact that you are lean, you have the exact right roles, making sure you're occupied, and then kind of figuring out from there, as you continue to grow, where you need to hire into, where the company need is. And look, to me, this sounds like you're running a good corporation, right?
Top 10 on Nasdaq.
Wait, what? What'd you say you
It's gonna
rhymed
be the
there?
top 10 on Nasdaq.
The top 10 on NASDAQ. Let's go, Wasta. I love it, dude. Let's go. That's ambition right there. But I look, I think a lot of NFT projects are missing the fact that NFTs should be run like a business to some degree, at the very least to some degree. Like the people that are the most successful have their business plans in order when it comes to finances, when it comes to hiring out, when it comes to what industries they want to be involved in. So to me, this actually sounds like one of the best NFTs in terms of just solid business plan. Um, so one, I appreciate you guys having business forward thinking. It's something that often gets left behind in the NFT space because it's so easy to raise money. And then, we have a lot of people that haven't been in business before. And they're like, well, what do I do with all this? Like there's some
Yeah.
people back in the bull run that were making like $2 million easy off a mint, for Fiverr art. And they're like, okay, well, I can either run away with this or I can run a business and I don't know how to. And I think a lot of people just chose the former because it was easy, right? So this is exciting. You're building a business in a bear. Like I said, there's a ton of market share to be gained there. Um, I'm excited for it, man. How do you feel about the market? I mean, like we just saw 3 mints do incredibly well. I'm trying to think what happens in the next week or two as far as mints go, and I can't really think of anything. I think Soul Casino is maybe at the end of the month.
Oh, it's on April 3rd.
April 3rd. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Are you planning on launching around then? Are you trying to front run them? Do we have any alpha there?
Uh, Trying like before.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to put you in this tough of a spot, Wasta. We don't have to go too much into detail.
That's all
Wasta,
good, man.
I know. I do not mean to grill you. I'm sorry. I'm still just cracking up at the fact that Joe got pulled over. Um, Dorian actually had some personal things that he let us know ahead of time, so that's at least fair. But just Joe, God bless. So market's good. Look, even if you mint around the same time as them, we just showed that we can support 3 projects at the same time, and you're going to be a 5,500 supply. Soul Casino is going to be a 5,000 supply as well. I do think we are actually planning on being around that. I will just say we're not going to be this month, but probably early April with the heist. So look, we might get round 2. I don't know when. Do you know when Mad Lads is minting?
Um, no, not really. I don't think I
Yeah,
put anything out as of
I
yet.
don't think so either. So it's gonna be curious to see. Imagine all 4 of us decide to mint like within a 24-hour period. We're like, hey, you like 3 mints in 24 hours. Wait till you see 4.
Gonna be the next Oogies versus Bastards.
Yeah, I will. I we already have to worry about chimps and gorillas in our game. We'll have to just have wars on all fronts. But
You don't know
no, that's
how hyped I
exciting.
am for heists. Man, it
Yeah,
looks sick.
I'm very excited, dude. It's so nice to see it all come together. We got, um, kind of like the final version of the map. There's still a few changes we need to make, but dude, it looks so good. I've been seeing mock-ups and stuff along the way, but now that we saw like the fully animated version and everything, dude, it looks. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. But um, talk about okay. So when it comes to Wasta HQ, is this going to be like a web page? Is this going to be um, what is this going to look like for people when they first get into Wasta HQ?
Okay, so basically it's like your like normal website, but like basically you'll have a section for every like let's say for like Wasta Tech, you'll have a section where like you can read about Wasta Tech and like fill in a form if you'd like some tech services, etc. Same thing with the studios once we launch it. And then you'll have a section for like the curated drops of like whether it's merch, Phygitals, or art drops and collabs. So there'll be like different like sections on the website, and it'll just act like a hub for the corporation's ecosystem, all powered through points.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, look, I think everybody needs to have that hub, that HQ before scaling. And I think a lot of people don't need to be going to like I'm trying to think of websites I've been to before that I'm just like, man, this could definitely be ease of use if you had a more of a central hub to it. One of the places I can think of is Liberty Square. I love Liberty Square so much, but I have been long on record saying one, their staking sucks. And I guess it's better than the old platform used to be, but two, it just feels like from the staking website, you should be able to do like everything, right? Or at least get redirected. Like staking should be where your hub is,
Yeah.
in your HQ, right? So whatever that looks like for you. Now, when it comes to getting points with Wasta Corp, are you having like a soft staking mechanism, a hard staking, or is it just going to be like, hey, as long as it's in your wallet, you're going to get points?
So we're planning to go for non-custodial staking, as I feel like that's the best type of staking.
I love it. I do too. I cannot say enough. I just there's nothing like good soft staking. One, I think it just helps build brand recognition. I scroll through my wallet literally every single day. So whenever I get to see like, oh yeah, I still have that. Like I still see Cyber Samurai at the top of my wallet because I have like 25 of them. Um, it's just good brand recognition. Like, oh yeah, shit, I need to go check the dojo. I need to go check my raffles and everything like that. I don't get it. Like I forgot the other day that I had Lily because I was planting them, right? It just completely faded from my mind because they were all planted. Now you do get the little like it was like the NFT receipts almost. So I guess that's still better than nothing, but I always scrolled past them because it just looked different than what I was expecting Lily's to. So I'm all about soft staking. I've said this for a long time. I think soft staking is the future, and it's just something that's more seamless. Like if we are going to scale, if you plan on scaling with Wasta Corp or anybody with their NFT project, it has to be easy enough that your dad or your mom or your grandma, even one day down the road when people have more of a concept of NFTs, can click a button and then they start earning rewards points or whatever, your social currency is going to be, versus having to hard stake. Then they go through their wallet and they're like, holy shit, what happened to my NFT? I just paid like $1,000 for this, and not seeing it in your wallet anymore. Like, that's got to be terrifying. I bet that's how every MetaMask initial user was like, because you can't see your NFTs, right? You can only see them on OpenSea. So, yeah, I think it is the future. I think it is the best way to utilize Solana in its fullest too. And dude, I love it. I love it. So I guess next question for you. Do you have a launch pad that you're going to use? Is there anything that should be on people's radars as far as launch pad goes?
We still haven't announced it because we're still finalizing it. We're talking to a bunch right now.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Yeah, we're trying to keep ours, kind of low key as well, because, well, just want to keep it coy. I don't know what it is about launch pads, but one, I feel like, you want them to do the marketing anyways. That's part of the reason you're paying them. But that's still exciting. I'm trying to think, is there anything else, Wasta, that we haven't covered yet? Because that was pretty much all the questions I had written down.
I think we covered everything, but do you know what the meaning of Wasta is?
No. Okay. Thank you so much. I know I was just thinking about that when I saw your name. I was calling out your name earlier in the show and you couldn't hear me. I think it was because like your volume was down or something. I was like, Wasta. I was like, I've never figured out what Wasta meant. What does Wasta mean?
Wasta is like basically an Arabic word that focuses like on networking, connecting, and helping others, like basically having a connection, or when you know a guy that knows a guy. To put it simply, basically the plug. So
You're
that's
the
it.
plug. You're the crypto dude. I've never heard that before. What?
So basically, like, think of a corporation that's like with people you can network and build and create stuff. So that's how the name came together.
Gotcha. Dude, I love that. That makes dude, that's such a good name, man. Um, I've always said that, about like I love making connections. That's part of like the best part of Web3 right there. It's just like all the people I met, dude, meeting people down in Miami for Art Basel. I'm so jealous of Salami Mommy and Lou getting to meet like Eddie in person and everybody over in LA. Like, those are some of the best times. But even just getting to speak to you on RareFUD, on any spaces we go on, and all the DMs we're in together is just, I mean, it's one of my favorite parts about Web3. So Wasta the plug, man. I'm gonna start calling you the plug, Wasta.
All right, let's do it.
Great, man. Well, seriously, thank you so much for giving us a breakdown. I mean, you had clear, concise answers on everything you want to do with Wasta Corp. I'm excited to see what you got cooking. I'm excited to have whitelist. Ayo. And if you guys, and so I guess what's the next step for anybody who's listening to this right now who wants to get more involved with Wasta Corp?
I'd say hop in the Discord, read the vision paper. If you fuck with it, come vibe with us, and you'll probably like get the chance of getting a whitelist.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So you guys heard the man. Jump into Discord, read the vision paper. If you fuck with him, go jump in. If not, I don't know. Maybe you're a bozo. Quick question for you, Wasta. Usually on this fine Tuesday, I'm actually glad they didn't show up today because I'm pretty sure I lost. Croissants ran up to like 95 and then they've absolutely plummeted down to like 50, 55, 60 maybe. Last time I checked. We usually do an NFT showdown, right? Me and the co-host go around and we pick an NFT. And then, we find out who the winner is next week. If you were to pick an NFT right now, today, to buy and hold for the next week, what are you picking and why?
I would think maybe like Oogie's after reveal.
Yeah. Okay. So I love that. I love the post reveal. I miss the Oogie like hype wave. I look, congratulations to him, dude. They reached like 31, I think, on Soul
That's
Sniper.
crazy.
Um,
That's crazy.
yeah, that also worries me too. Like I'm honestly nervous for any mint that like just rockets up like that because it's usually what goes up must come down sort of thing. Like
100%.
it's healthy to see price action where people take profits and stuff. One, it helps me as a trader because I get to identify key levels, but also, I mean, it's pretty much if you look on the daily, It's just a straight
It's just
missile up.
just up.
Yeah, there's only one red candle. And it was like a little doji. It was barely even a red candle, you know? So, yeah, okay. The Oogie post reveal, I'm the same way. Like, if I miss the pre-reveal like pump, I kind of think of it like bonks too. I think they'll do way better than bonks, but that pre-reveal bonks, like I missed all that, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do pre-reveal. Once they reveal, I'll buy, maybe some floors and stuff if it's worth it. I think Oogie will have much more of a use case than bonks, where bonks just kind of abused one-on-one artists, in my opinion, and used that to hype them up, and then everybody realized like the chance of you getting a one-on-one is like slim to none, and if you don't, like the base model looks really bad. I actually do kind of like Oogie. I don't like the model of it, but the art technique that they use is actually really clean, just looking through some of the iterations. But I'm gonna wait for, dude, we saw it with Bastards, right? Like pre-reveal, they were 15 soul, now they're 9.5 or something like that, or they dropped down to 7 at one point. I think we see the same thing with Oogie. And if I want to jump in, I think that's a really good play. So Oogie
Definitely.
post reveal. Okay, I'll give it to you. I think Wolf Capital. If I had to pick one
I was
right
just
now,
about to say it as well.
I think I'm going Wolf Capital. The Wolf Capital is following the exact price action that I like to see out of a new mint. And I know I love J-Shep. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
this slow grind up, and it's not even that slow. I mean, it went 3-4x almost
Pretty
from
fast.
its 2 soul mint price. And hats off to the team. But this is more of the organic price action. It feels like there's a lot more profit taking, and people are finding their balance. There's been a lot more supply on the market, so whales have just came in, and you'll see like 50 of them go off at one time because there's so much to choose from. I think Wolf Capital has kind of like a Lily run, right? I think this thing goes up to 10, maybe 15
Yeah.
before it kind of cools down a little bit and then finds its new support. I think Wolf Capital for me over the next week feels just like a nice, slow, easy grind up.
Yeah, I think the same as well. I think like we're just now like in accumulation. Once we just like start to bounce and leave like that zone, we're just gonna run just up.
Yeah, dude, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Dude, the traits on this stuff look so good. I love the scum hat. I got 2 of them. Full disclosure too. Like I have one listed because I have 2, and then I realized we could do trait swapping on here. So don't think I'm dumping on you. I promise you I'm not. But yeah, all the scum traits, dude. Oh, the Iron Man armor, dude. I love the Iron Man armor. Have you seen that trait, Wasta?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude,
Is
1
there
minute.
actually an Iron Man? Hold up, let me see that
Yeah,
real quick.
it's 1 minute. Somebody's trait. Where is the? I'll
Is it
find
in
the
like
name of it.
clothing?
Yeah, it's in clothing. It should be towards the top. Why am I not seeing it? It is.
Zol Probot, maybe? No.
I will find it, and I'm gonna feel really dumb. Wait, why am I looking over here? I literally have one in my wallet. It's sick though. I love the Iron Man look to it. Dude, Solana furs look sick. Okay, here it is. What is it? It's the Wacko Cyberpunk jacket. It looks like an Iron Man armor to me. A minute,
Yo,
I'll
I've
show
just
you.
seen this. That's actually fire.
Dude, it's so good. I found one for like 6 soul when they first came out. I'll share my screen real quick. I love mine. Dude, he looks sick.
That's a steal.
I was, but it was so much fun just sniping traits, and the fact that it didn't move like a million miles a second right out the gate just made it that much more fun to be like, oh, dude, this is sick. I can get this for like 4 soul, and I don't know. Yeah, Silas. So that was my same exact worry as well as the fact that there's 16%, but dude, it was at 22% at one point. So the fact that we shaved off 6% of the listed supply is one of the reasons that I think there's enough supply to satiate any whales who are like, man, this thing actually looks sick. And I can get as much as I want, as well as there's still a ton to choose from, So I think Wolf Capital actually does well. And I know J-Shep has done meticulous planning over, he probably has events lined up for like the next month at least of what he wants to do. I know there's a DGen Poet and Wolf collab coming out for 150 people for delisted folks. So I don't know. I think they're doing well, but Yeah, I love Wolf Capital. Wolf Capital's been so much fun to trade, Wasta. What have you had fun trading over the past like week or so?
So I bought a bunch of like Wolf Capitals at like I'd say my average was like 3, and I've like taken profits at like 7 to 8, and I've also minted bastards. I sold them post pre-reveal, and I've also got an Oogie. I bought a pre-sale, and yeah, I sold them way too early though.
Well, I mean, I don't blame you because I know a lot of my like a lot of people in my circle were like, "Oh yeah, I'm minting and then just getting right out," and they like flipped it for like a 0.5 soul profit. Um, I feel like a lot of people thought like that. So the fact that we're seeing, dude, they have like none listed right now. It's actually insane. They have 178 listed now. Granted, again, I'm pretty sure they have 25% locked up on vesting right now, and I think those get released here soon,
Mhm.
like over the next 48 hours or so. So that's just it's just something to be aware of. But yeah, dude, these things cooked. This is I again, it's a little concerning for me. I'd like to see a little bit more like pullback here because the art hasn't revealed. I know the community's been going crazy over there. Like that Discord has been wild, but um, yeah, we got 1 minute. 1 minute. We got a special guest here, Wasta, on our show.
Yo,
RareFUD. How you doing, Joe? No.
Yo, fam. Y'all doing much better than me, I bet. Wasta, I love you, dude. I am so sorry. Talk about bad timing, brother. Bad luck, bad karma. I don't know. I think I'm a pretty good guy, but things catch up, I guess, huh?
Dude,
Holy.
now you're
I'm
good,
saying.
man. Don't worry.
I'm saying. Joe, we were just about to wrap up actually. So you impeccable
It was
timing once
amazing.
again.
I was a great consumer of this podcast, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I'm glad we can keep you entertained on the side of the
It was
road, bro.
beautiful, though. You guys did an amazing job today, man. Wasted. Just take my job, please, so I don't let anybody else down.
Wait, are you saying Wasta?
Wasta.
Isn't it Wasta? Am I crazy,
Listen,
Wasta?
bro. No, but listen. It's Wasta, Wasta. I like Wasta, bro.
What? Oh, it's Jersey Joe.
I
Oh
like
God.
Wasta, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna stop the episode now while we quit while we were ahead. Wasta, seriously, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the audience before we sign off for today's episode?
I think we've covered everything. Thank you for bringing me on as well, guys.
Dude,
Appreciate it.
I've had
Been
a
a fan of
blast.
the
Thank you for holding
podcast.
it down while we were co-host list. Like you crushed it, dude. I was grilling you, and you had an answer for
He
everything.
crushed
So
it. And Bison,
um,
you crushed it, like you always do. A staple, just
I
a
get
calm
nervous
in the
when you
wind.
guys aren't here, dude. I hate.
I don't know
I'm just
why,
glad
bro. It's
Wasta
time
was
for you
here.
to show off and be like, dude, this is like, what do they even do? What's Dora and Joe even do, bro?
I get nervous. Okay. Well, seriously, Wasta, thank you so much for your time. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of RareFUD Radio. We do stream every Tuesday, Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. UTC, I guess now. We do daylight savings here. We do upload these episodes to Apple Podcasts and Spotify shortly after the episode is finished up. And if you don't mind, please hit that little subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and make sure that you are leaving a review on your podcast platforms. Seriously, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of RareFUD Radio.